Okay, so let's take a look and see what we can start cleaning up on this guy. So right here, vertexes, we can bring these together. So if there's a flat edge between three verts, you can just merge that down. If it's not holding a shape, just get rid of it. So like this right here, 100% flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and check it out, see what it looks like here. So I'm just going to take this guy. Didn't change the silhouette at all. And if you want to see this guy in silhouette, since we don't have any lights in here, we can actually hit on light mode, where we use all lights, and it makes it in silhouette. And if you want to see your topology, you could just hit this guy right here, where it shows edge. This guy, because there's no reason to have this here. What I'm actually going to do is just, I'm actually going to just, whoops, bring this down to here. Okay, that was weird. Computer kind of went crazy on me. So anyways, I'm going to snap these verts down to these verts here. We're just going to merge them. And then also I'm going to remove these faces here, because we're not going to see them. They're going to be hidden by that guy. So what are we down to? 614 tries. And I don't know if I'm feeling this guy. I might actually just delete him. Let's see. See how that looks. Yeah, I think that's fine. Give us another 50 tries. If you don't know, I'm looking up here on my try count. You can turn that on your displays. Heads up, poly counts. When you're dealing with video games, tries, that's what you want to look at. Don't look at polygons, because it lies. So I'm sure these guys, we can take some of this. Alright, right, this guy here. Snap these down. And then we'll merge them. And we should be able to actually take these and let's vertex. And let's Just go to the edge. And I'll just collapse edge. Boom. The same thing for this guy. And I just hit G all the way across on that. That one's good, and that one, I'm pretty sure I want that to be sharp too. Yeah. This guy, I'm gonna delete that edge. It's not that important. Alright, what do we have? Alright, cool. 550 was right about where I wanted to be, so that works out. And actually, I like that. A little lip still. Okay, cool. So now we get to start UVing. Okay, so with UVs, what we want to do, and this is probably going to be devastating to some of you, but it's not that big of a deal actually. What we're going to do, we're just going to go through one by one, and we are going, actually, it'd be easier if we do this. So I'm going to deselect that guy and that guy, and I'm going to combine all these guys just temporarily. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into face mode, go to my front one here. Select that, and delete it. There we go. Okay. And now we're just gonna separate these guys. So go back into object mode. Shift right click. We'll go into separate. That's how I got to combine as well. Sorry, I did say that. So we separate it. And now we can start UVing. So I'm gonna take this guy first. And I'm gonna go open up my UV texture editor. Right here. I'll get it on the screen so you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is go into face mode, select the faces, and what I can do is I can hold down shift over here, shift right click, planar map, and it comes out. When UVing, things I would turn on, this guy, so you can see if it's a negative and positive, and this, which is your border edge. It helps a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the UVs, hold down Control, right click, go to the shell, selects all the UVs. I'm going to do Shift right click, smooth UVs, and I'm just going to smooth the UVs out. And I'm just going to keep pulling that unfold until it stops moving. It's not moving anymore, so we're good on that. And then I'm just going to select Move Tool, W, just like in the 3D version over here. And I'm just going to move it off the 0 to 1 space from here. And then I'm going to do the same thing. This guy, face, select, I'm going to planar map it. Now with these guys, you want to cut the edges right here. Turn on edge. There we go. Because it's going to allow it to flare out. If you don't, you'll get pinching. So we'll just cut UVs, and then you can see that they're cut because we got those little border edges there. So we'll come back here. You can shift, right click, unfold, and that'll do that really quick. And I always smooth afterwards. Cool. We'll do this guy now. Planar map that. Isolate selection again. Alright, so with this guy, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to cut along this edge right here so that these will unfold really nice. So cut UVs, UV to shell, smooth it out. There we go. Oh, and another thing I can do with this guy, because it's not going to be showing, delete those. So if you remove or add faces or edges, you want to make sure you just unfold again. There we go. And then just a face there. Edge. I'm going to take this guy up that far when I cut it, so I think it's going to lay out better. Cool. Alright, so that guy's laid out. And I'm just going to go through and do these guys. I'll show you one, and then I'll just stop the video, and I'll pick back up when we get done UVing for the layout portion. So I'll just show you this one first. And this one I'm gonna do it up here. When you're cutting your UVs too, make sure it's in a portion that or an area that's not gonna be too hard to fix up when you're doing the texture, because these guys have to look like they're seamless. So you definitely don't want to make yourself any problems with that. Alright, so I'll stop the video and we'll pick back up after I lay out the UVs. Okay, so we're back. As you can see, I got all the UVs laid out. So now what I need to do is actually get them all in the 0 to 1 space. What you can do is you go to UVs, select them, make sure your smooth is turned off when you do it. You hold down Shift, right click, go to Layout UVs, and go to the little box there. And we want to prescale to the object itself, scale uniform, and you can do free rotation or 90-degree rotation. Doesn't really matter at this point. And we're going to do it for a 1024 map, so we're going to apply it. And there it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, with all my UVs selected, hit this button so it rotates around. And I'm going to move it over a little bit. And move it up. And I'm going to select these guys. Shell, move it up. Move it too. Alright, everything looks like it's in the 0, 1. So we're good on that. So what I want to do now that I've done that, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to select all my objects, go to polygon. I'm going to do a UV snapshot. And let's you always want your texture map to be bigger, so we're going to do a 2048 map. And then let's browse, put it there. We're going to name it. I'm going to name mine Snap. Save it up. I always like to pick a really saturated color, especially green, just like green screen, all that stuff. And I do a PNG. I do that because it comes in with an alpha already on it, so when you go to texture, it's already see-through, and it makes it real easy. So, okay. All right. So if we go over to our project, there it is. All right, guys. So make sure you save up everything right now. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to get our sword back, like the entirety of it. So what you're going to do is select everything and deselect the guys that we're not going to mirror over. So just those two guys. Or however your weapon is shaped, that's fine too. So got that going on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to combine them. And then we're going to duplicate. So you just hit Control D. And right here, what we're going to do is we're going to scale it and then X -1. So now we have it on the other side. But what we want to do after we do this, if you look here, there's backface calling. What we're going to do, take that, we're going to combine it. And you want to make sure that it's not see-through. I turned on that backface calling, so if I go inside, I can't see the other side of my polygons because I want my normals facing out that way. So it looks like that's what's going on, which is super good. Delete history, but it's probably going to go back once I do this. No? Good? Cool. Alright, so we're going to go into the front view. And you just want to make sure you select only the center vertices, the ones that are on the 0. And they should be already on top of each other, so this should be pretty easy for us. So we'll just merge vertices. Back here. I want to turn off that. There we go. Awesome. So now if we look at this and we go back into our UVs, everything's there. So on your UVs, you're going to notice that some of them are purple and some of them are blue. If we go to that, see how that's red? That means it's reversed. That is not inherently bad. It'll be fine for what we're doing. This is a common practice with doing modeling inside of games, so don't fear it. They just have to be right on top of each other like they are right there. So, and that's why we we modeled it, broke it in half, UV'd it, and then resimmed it essentially, so we can get that really nice mark on it. So, cool. Done with that. And close this out. Delete my history. So one last thing that we're going to do before we jump over into Photoshop and start doing our texture funness. I want there to be some contact shadows from this guy to this guy, this guy to that guy, here to here, etc., etc. So the way we're going to approach that is what you want to do. So make sure these are all combined. Good on that. And then you want to go over to your settings preferences, your plugin manager, and you want to make sure that mental ray is turned on. So it's called Maya to MR. I think it's at the bottom right there. So you want to make sure that's turned on, and I would just auto load it so it's turned on every time you turn on Maya. Okay. So if that's done, what you're going to do is you're going to go up to color, and you're going to go to batch bake mental ray. We're going to do our selected object. We don't care about any of this stuff because we're going to change the texture anyways. And you want to make sure you have your occlusion turned on. We're doing an ambient occlusion map. This is going to help give us some base shadows for working. So just call it AO. And then again, we're working in a higher resolution, so we want to do a 2048 by 2048. And let's just leave it as a target. That's fine. Okay. So what's going to happen here is your occlusion rays, it's going to mimic the sun. So it's how many rays is your source going to send out and how crisp is that edge going to be, essentially. 64 is enough. And then number of samples. This is how many times is it going to cast to get a good reading on it. So we want to do 3. You can do 2. You do however many you want to, but 3 is a good number. We want to bake it to 1 map. We don't care about an alpha. Final gather, sure, doesn't matter. Okay, and then what we're going to do is do a convert and close, and we're going to see this guy whittle away down there. And this can take a while depending on the size of your map. And how many rays you did and how many samples and such. So I'm just going to let this go. You guys do the same. Hopefully you had your project set up because this is automatically going to save into a folder in your project. So just do that, and next time we talk, we'll be on Photoshop.